Here's what I know. Draymond Green was suspended without pay for Tuesday's game against the Hawks for conduct detrimental to the team. An angry late-game exchange between Green and Kevin Durant Monday carried into the locker room. League sources telling Adrian Wojnarowski and Mark Spears no one had to be separated, no player left his seat, and no hint of physicality loomed in the setting, sources said. Let's hear from KD after last night's win over Atlanta.
Kevin, have you and Draymond been able to hash anything out?
No.
Do you see that happening anytime soon?
I'm sure it will. We got a long season ahead.
Is it just similar to like two brothers fighting when they're growing up? And just...
We are brothers. We are family. Yeah. Whether we realize it or not, we are family.
Cain and Abel type brothers?
Cain and Abel? I don't think nobody's trying to kill the other one.
At the end of the day, we're on the same team with the same goal, and that's to three-peat, and I don't think either of them will lose sight of that, whether it's personal agenda or whatever. I think we'll get far past it, and we'll, grow to that. We'll get to that goal.
He also said a pass will be behind us like a ponytail, referencing Drake. How do we not put that part into it? All right, Stephen A. So I said that's what I know happened. What do you know?
I spoke to a couple of people inside the Warriors organization, a couple of people that were obviously there. Here's what happened. Obviously, we saw what happened on the court in terms of Draymond Green grabbing the basketball, racing down court, not giving the ball to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was clapping his hands for it. Once the play fell apart, obviously they go into overtime. They go towards the bench, and Kevin Durant was like, I was asking for the ball. Why didn't you give me the ball, et cetera, et cetera. And Draymond Green just went off, started cussing him out. Obviously, the B word is something that everybody's been using. Draymond Green has said that to a lot of people. He said that to opponents like LeBron James. He said that to his own teammates before. He certainly said that to Kevin Durant.
If you say that to the wrong person, that's a problem.
Yeah, but that's not the issue here, because it's something far bigger that went on. In the process of Draymond Green, according to my sources, in the process of Draymond Green going off, he brought up Kevin Durant's contract. Now, I've heard that Steve Kerr and others may have denied that. I don't give a damn about the denials. I trust my sources on this one. And I'm telling you, Draymond Green said to Kevin Durant, essentially, you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm not quoting there. I'm paraphrasing. You got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not down with this team the way the rest of us are. And basically questioned Kevin Durant's commitment to this franchise. And that's where it really, really crossed the line. And so in a lot of people's eyes, from the top on down, the belief is they would have had absolutely no credibility whatsoever with the rest of the team if they had not suspended Draymond Green. My position is this has been tolerated on many occasions, certainly not the part about bringing up the contract in the middle of the huddle while y'all going at each other. And you know it's bad when Boogie Cousins got to restrain you. You know it's bad when Boogie Cousins got to restrain you. But for me, where it really resonates is that I was saying, and I asked this question, wait a minute, Draymond is an emotional dude. This is something that y'all have applauded religiously. In 2016, in the locker room in Oklahoma City, Draymond Green MF'd Steve Kerr, told him don't say another MFing word to me, I'll kill you, okay, and all of this other stuff, had to be restrained. And this is from going after the coach. He didn't get suspended then. So if we attribute so much of the emotional stuff to Draymond Green as we have done in the past, what warranted this? And that is when I was told that Draymond Green brought up the fact that Kevin Durant hasn't committed long term, that Kevin Durant is contemplating walking out the door at the end of this season, basically questioning his commitment to this team. And that is where folks felt he really, really crossed the line. After the game, either during or after the game, I don't recall when, Iguodala, Sean Livingston, and Klay Thompson all spoke. And Klay Thompson reminded the team, according to what I was told, the only people that can beat us is ourselves. Nobody can mess with us but us. So let's keep that in mind. Let's stay together. But that's essentially what has happened and really what it comes down to, Max, just to put a bow on it. Bottom line is the most egregious part in all of this in a lot of people's eyes wasn't the language, because Draymond Green typically does that. He was off kilter. He wouldn't let it go. Kevin Durant said, let's go win this game. We got a game to win in overtime. Let's go win it. Draymond said, F that, and still kept going and kept going after him. And in the process, brought up the fact that impending free agency is coming up in the middle of the game. And people thought that crossed the line.
This is like the original hot take show, right? Like people talk about hot takes. We do a lot more than that, but people think about hot takes. What does that really mean? It means you've come to a conclusion that is counterintuitive for everyone else. So you state the conclusion, everyone goes, what are you talking about? And then you chop it up and get into it and argue it and debate it and all that.
Yep.
So when I say something like KD is maybe the 5th best player in the world right now, that's considered a hot take because it's, what are you talking about? And then I'll go through LeBron and Kawhi and AD and the Greek Freak and say KD is somewhere below LeBron and in the mix with the others, maybe as low as 5. We'll see by the end of the year. Everyone loses their minds. They think I hate on KD. When I say that LeBron is way better than KD, which he is, people think I'm hating on KD. Let me give you an ice-cold take right now. Just completely, this is whatever. KD is he's in this group of all-time great scorers in the most elite category with Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Maybe Kobe Bryant, maybe a couple of others, maybe. He is that great a scorer. And he's also turned into a top 10, certainly maybe top 5 defensive player in basketball. He's an all-time great in his prime. Draymond, it doesn't matter if he has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, even if you believe that's true. KD with 1 foot out the door is better than almost every other basketball player who has ever lived. Draymond, this is hard for him to swallow, I'm sure, because he's the heart and soul of the team. What really makes the Warriors, because they were the Warriors before KD got there, is Steph 1 and Draymond 2. What has ushered in the modern era of basketball in terms of style of play is Steph 1, because he's a mobile artillery unit and he could shoot from such distance. And the ball doesn't stick with him, passes unselfish. And Draymond, too, can not only switch on all 5 positions, can guard all 5 positions legitimately, and shoot the 3. You can play 5 out. So Draymond's position in the history of basketball is significant. On this Warriors team is significant. And everyone knows he's the heart and soul of the team. From his point of view, it's like, this dude, 1 foot out the door. Nah, you got to be committed. Nah, Draymond, KD doesn't have to do it like everybody else. KD can do his own thing. They're still going to choose him over you. They will choose KD over Draymond because as excellent as Draymond is, KD is on another level. Even defensively, the things that Draymond can do, KD can do, and KD can do some things defensively, like guard the rim, that Draymond can't do. So, I love the fact that KD has grown up before our eyes. He came into the league as a 19-year-old kid, unsure of himself, fake in a lot of ways in terms of the image he presented, and he has we've seen him mature publicly. There's no hiding in this social media age into a much more mature adult who, even the way he handled this is right on the money. Don't lie about it. Say, I think it will get worked out. Hasn't yet. I'm still upset. All that stuff. What Draymond has to understand is they will choose KD, just as everyone will, 100 times out of 100 over Draymond, no matter how committed Draymond is. This 1-game suspension, read the writing on the wall. Draymond, get in line or they're going to get rid of you.
Stephen A., isn't that what this part of this is about, though? Because obviously he could have given KD the ball. I get that he made it personal. But don't you think Draymond knows deep down that he's probably going to get dealt and he's salty
Well, first of all, he didn't know deep down that he's probably going to get dealt. He should be thinking about that now. According to what I'm being told, they're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about trading Draymond. He's too valuable. I'm here to tell you, I question that. I'm not questioning Draymond's value. Draymond is big time to me in terms of he's the glue for that team. He's that valuable. But I do believe they're worried about Kevin Durant leaving. I do believe they don't want Kevin Durant to leave. I do believe they know that if Kevin Durant leaves, it's entirely possible that he may decide to join LeBron in L.A. Okay, I do believe he's got a home in L.A. himself. I do believe that even though the Knicks think they have a shot at him as well, we shall see. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that because of those concerns, along with the fact that I can tell you as of 3 o'clock this morning when I was getting calls, Draymond still hadn't apologized. Draymond still was of the mindset he didn't do anything wrong. He did handle the suspension like a professional, but he didn't back up from his position one bit. He believes he's right. He doesn't believe he did anything wrong. And because of that, you never know what kind of fallout this can be. You can use the B word and you can act that way towards an opponent. You could do it against somebody like LeBron who could shrug that off and still be your boy, because Draymond is real good people. He's as real and authentic as it gets. He doesn't have a phony bone in his body. But KD is a different animal, and how he absorbs that moving forward. I'm not talking about he's going to handle his business on the basketball court always, because you could come at KD in any way you want to. He'll still drop 30. That's fine. But how he communicates with you, how he vibes with you, his willingness and desire and inclination to be around you, all of those things are now up in the air, in question. And as of 3 o'clock East Coast time this morning, according to what I was told, Draymond Green still had not apologized. Draymond Green still did not believe he was wrong. And again, he wouldn't let it go. Matter of fact, somebody told me, he said, quote, when KD said, let's go win this game, he said, F that, I don't give a damn about that, and kept going at him. He wouldn't let it go.
Of course the Warriors don't want to lose KD. It is almost impossible to replace him. If you try to get a piece to replace KD's value, you have to get either Anthony Davis or Kawhi Leonard. Who else? Greek Freak's not available. LeBron's not available. The only two others of equal value are AD or Kawhi. Well, if you think you can't get one of those two,
time out.
You're not going to replace KD. You're going to replace Draymond.
You're not. Well, again, you're not. They're hoping they don't have to make a choice, but you also have to remember a couple of things. Number one, if you decide that you want to move Draymond, that doesn't guarantee that you keep KD, because KD was contemplating leaving before this happened.
Right.
So the point is, it's not all about Draymond as to whether or not he will stay with the Warriors. Then number two, you also have to worry about where KD goes. Hypothetically speaking, as big time as Anthony Davis is, as big time as Kawhi Leonard is, we understand that the Golden State Warriors don't win the championship this year. But one could argue they don't win the championship the last 2 years if it was not for KD's arrival. That as great as Steph Curry is with Klay.
Let's say they would have taken one out of the two without
all right,
KD.
that's fine. But then without Kevin Durant, you're not winning the championship this year. I can tell you that.
Right.
So they recognize that. Now, if you're going to lose KD, here's where it gets interesting. It's not just about losing him. It's about who you lose him to. Mm-hmm. If KD rolls up in L.A. with LeBron James, if you are the Golden State Warriors, you have a problem even if you get Anthony Davis or Kawhi Leonard.
That's right.
You still have a problem because of the combination of KD with LeBron.
So now it's a really interesting.
That's their dilemma. That's the kind of dilemma a KD departure exposes.
It's a really interesting question for the Warriors, because on the one hand, you can take this tack. We're going to demonstrate to KD that we're all in on him and hope that keeps him here, because that's their best shot to remain this incredible dynasty. Mm-hmm. And so we'll deal Draymond Green. The problem is you're not going to do that now, because the more important thing is that you win the championship this year, which they'll do if they stay together and stay healthy. Then at the end of the year, what do? When this dude's in free agency, do you then try to deal Draymond to keep KD? And what do you get back from Draymond? Because Draymond really helps the Warriors be the Warriors.
Draymond is incredibly valuable to the Warriors, to other opponents. You look at his defensive prowess, but the Warriors have already put out there he's been breaking down a little bit. I don't know whether it's true or not, but this is what they say. He's been breaking down a little bit. He's not the same player. Nicks and knacks, injuries, wear and tear, attrition, all of those things have kicked in. So as a result of it, first of all, you're not going to value him over KD, because nobody is. You can't find 3 players or 4 players in the NBA that you'd value over KD. He's that prolific. But it's certainly not going to be Draymond Green. But also, if you move Draymond Green, because of the money he's looking to get, you have to take those things into consideration.
Well, here's the thing about Draymond. When you think about the way teams want to play the game today,
yes,
you have Anthony Davis as be your number one choice as your forward or center, a big who can do all those things. Al Horford, who's off to a slow start this season, is another, and because they can also rim protect. And then Draymond's kind of exactly what every team is looking for. Even a slightly diminished version of himself should have a lot of trade value.
Where does Boogie Cousins fall in all this?
Well, Boogie Cousins has to get back healthy. When he's healthy, he's big time. He's 28-12 walking. But the reality is that the kind of injury that he's had, the Achilles, combined with the size that he brings it with, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
And so because he's that big and he has to overcome that injury, this isn't some miniature guard that suffered an Achilles tear. This is a 6'11", 280-pound dude. And that's going to be a lot
Thing about
for him
Boogie,
to
though?
overcome.
But could he be in their long-term plans?
Yeah, this is what I think. I think they're looking at Boogie Cousins. I think they're hoping maybe they can get some kind of a discount. Boogie does not rely on athletic ability. He has very little of it for an elite player. His skills, his moves, his passing ability.
But he's not. But you see what? He's not even in the same stratosphere defensively as Draymond.
However, this is my point. Wait a minute. This is my point. It's not to replace Draymond. The player who actually replaces Draymond in this equation is KD. KD can, in fact, though you think of them different, their body types are different, their attitudes are different. KD can do many of the same things Draymond can do defensively. Some things he can't. Boogie is just an offensive upgrade. I bet if they think they can save some money and go get Boogie and deal Draymond, that's going to be their plan.
All right.
I don't think so.
We shall see.
For another day.
All I know, it's going to be a big summer for free agency.
Boogie, when he's healthy, is a problem.
Right? First take just getting started. Jimmy